Hey everybody, welcome to another episode of Howling at Life. It is me, Big Adrian, the Wolfman of Comedy. Okay, not gonna lie, I'm gonna let you in on a little background. This is the third time I've been recording this thing, man. There's always been something, the dog or something, the phone doesn't have storage. So I'm really trying to pop out this episode, everybody, but welcome to another episode of Howling at Life. Again, I am Big Adrian, the Wolfman of Comedy. Thank you. Recording this for y'all for August, man. We're starting in August here, man. Don't forget to like, subscribe. You can always follow me on Spotify. On Spotify, you can check me out on Howling at Life. We have old episodes and all sorts of stuff from throughout the years now. It's been a couple of years that I've been recording this with and without guests. But you can follow us on Spotify. Howling at Life is on there. You can subscribe on that bad boy and comment to any of the episodes that are there. You can also follow us here on YouTube, the Wolfman of Comedy, Big Adrian, the Wolfman of Comedy on YouTube, where you know that if you know the Get Down, you know the Get Down. But you can follow the podcast. You can go ahead and you can check out the old comedy shows that I've done. The short films, some singing is on there as well. So there's a lot of things there that are popping up with that. So you can always follow me on any of those, as well as my social media. You can always follow me on social media as well. My Facebook is Big Adrian Lopez, Big Adrian, all one word, as well as you can follow me on Instagram. Instagram is, I think I have two Instagrams. Yes, I do, because I deleted one of them. So one of the Instagrams is Big Adrian 714, and the other one is Wolf Daddy 714. So you can always follow me on any one of those social medias, like and subscribe, and comment on the episodes or anything anywhere you can get the Howling at Life. So there we go. Look at that. Thank you. Yeah, this is the third time I'm recording this thing, and whatever happens, because we got to get this done, bro. Like I've been going, and I was like, come on, we got to get it done. So we're gonna get this done. All right. So for everybody there, so did the whole like and subscribe thing, whatever. Now let's get into some announcements. Had to throw in the little clown horn right there. Hey, everybody, couple of announcements coming up. I need to announce some upcoming shows that are going on. The first show, and if you follow me on social media, the first flyer is out. September 12th at 7:30 p.m. at the Anaheim Alano Club. There will be a show. My boy, Mike Griffin, will be opening up for me, the Wolfman of Comedy. So what's going to happen is he's going to run a set, and then I'm going to take it over, man. So that'll be a nice little show. He's going to be opening for me, and then I'm just going to, do my thing, y'all. So that'll be September 12th at 7:30 p.m. Also, the following week, Patrick Laborie just hit me up and kind of confirmed a date that he's working on a show at Howe Hall in Huntington Beach. We should be performing there, and the details will be coming soon as he locks in that date. Probably me, Patrick, and a few of the other comedians that'll probably be going there. If not, just me and Patrick. And you know how we do it. If you know Laugh Big from back in the day, we rock it. We know how to rock it. So another date that is confirmed is October 10th, 9 p.m. at Changes in Garden Grove. There's another show with me, Mike, and Patrick, the crazy trio that's there. We will be performing our show there. All these shows should be free of charge, but we will be passing a basket for donations. It's been brought to my attention that we should be doing that just to get a little something from the audience. If you have it, you have it. If you don't, you don't. But come on out and get a good laugh. So you got September 12th. You also got September 19th. That's going to be locked in. And October 10th. So you got a couple of shows there. And of course, I'm going to be promoting flyers on my social media, as well as I'm going to be announcing it, the different podcasts that I'll be doing up until the dates. Okay, but check me out on social media. All the flyers will be out there, and I'm pretty sure everybody's going to be promoting it like crazy. We get great support. I also have another two shows, possibly another one that's going to happen during the holidays, which we usually do anyway. And I'm still waiting for that Irvine Improv comedy fundraiser that they wanted me to do. So that should be coming up as well. So a few shows happening, which I'm very excited about. Very excited about to be doing. All right, everybody? Yeah. That kid gets me every time. Hey, So I have some news about next year. So I'm going to be applying this week for my next year's internship, and I know that I got some good news from school that I might be able to continue my education, my internship there at where I'm at, same schedule and everything. So the cool part about this is that means that the Wolfman will still have some time to be able to do what he's got to do and have some time for these comedy shows. I still want to do an open mic night. I don't think it's going to happen this year with all of these shows that are kind of popping up and I'm booking and I'm promoting. But I think that what's going to happen is next year, the schedule's kind of going to be the same a little bit. Hiccups. The schedule's going to kind of be the same of what I'm working with now. So that means it's going to free up some time for me to be able to continue doing what I'm doing. So there'll be plenty of shows next year. And again, there's tons of shows still left this year. Now, I do have to make an announcement real quick. So let me kind of go ahead and do this real quick a little bit. So, if you have seen me or my comedians, even though it's the same comedians that are out there, y'all, it is never the same show twice. If anybody's ever seen me and has followed my career, you know that I will never do the same set twice the same way. So please come out and support these shows. Even if you've seen us before, come on out, man. It's a free laugh. You're going to get your laugh going for sure. But it's never the same show repeated. I never repeat the same show. You know what I mean? I always push my guys to kind of do something different. So anytime you see us, if you see me 1 week and then the next month you see me another week or whatever's going on, it's never going to be the same show because I live a lot of life and I'm trying to implement everything that's from the last show to this show into some stuff, maybe some old jokes here and some old jokes there, but it is never the same show twice. So if you're like, I've already seen them in front, dude, I'm telling you right now, you're missing out because it is never the same show, all right? You can go back and check out all the other videos that I've done, that I've recorded and stuff like that. And I'm telling you right now, it is never the same show twice, okay? I've never repeated the same set twice. So come on out and have your laugh. It's always a different experience every time, and it's good support. Plus, getting out, man. Getting out for some free laughs, man. Why not? You know what I mean? Especially in this economy, you know what I mean? You're able to go ahead and go have, a free laugh. So come on out and support, y'all. Like I said, that's a disclaimer that I had to make, because I think a lot of people get kind of confused with that, that they're like, well, I've already seen this guy, blah, blah, blah. Trust me, if you follow me, dude, it is never the same set twice, and you're always going to at least get some good laughs. So if you can, come on out and support everybody on these shows that are coming up. Again, September 12th will be the first show. I believe September 12th, October 10th, already shows that are already going, and then possibly one in Christmas time, I believe, and I'm still waiting for the other one, and then next year is a whole nother year and a whole other stuff and more promotion and whatever, because right now, that was my biggest fear, is that I wanted to continue doing shows, but I didn't know how my internship was going to go. If I'm the same schedule, then man, let's rock it, man. Let's do what we got to do for sure. But that's something that I always wanted to do and present to everybody here. I've been doing comedy for 10 years, and I'm always trying to push, and I'm always trying to get out there. I never want to get stagnant. I just want to keep on going and do what I got to do. But right now, the focus is my internship, my schooling, get that done in next August. I'll be done. Not this month, but next year. I'll be done in August. And then, man, more auditions, more of this, more of that, more of that. We'll see what else life has to offer. Because we're howling at life, everybody. We're howling at life like we do. You know what I mean? That's what we do, everybody. You know what I mean? We're supposed to. Hey, look at that. We're supposed to. And that's what I try to do. So, just be on the lookout for all the upcoming shows and things going on that are going to be happening. All right, everybody? All right. Let's get into the next portion of this bad boy. So, it is that time of the year. We're in August, the beginning of August. And some of y'all, if you've gone back or if you haven't, go back to previous episodes or videos that we've done. Hey, man, this is the time of the year where we start getting into that spooky season again. Yes, it's only August. We're still in summer, but trust me and some of my peoples, man, we always get out there and we try to get some Halloween in us all year round. And this week is the start of some major stuff going on. And if you've been a fan of Howling at Life, you know that this time of year, me and Spooky Bitch and some of the other people, we start going to a lot of Halloween stuff. We already got tickets for a lot of Halloween events that are going to be happening. The first one is this weekend. Midsummer Scream is happening, everybody. You know what I mean? Midsummer Scream is happening this weekend in Long Beach. Me and Spooky Bitch got some VIP tickets to go ahead and go to check out Midsummer Scream this weekend, the 3-day convention. And, there's vendors, there's going to be mazes, there's going to be stars, there's going to be short films and panels and updates for all the Halloween events that are happening. So I will be probably on the next episode reviewing the Midsummer Scream and how it was. Also, I know we already have our tickets for Halloween Horror Nights. It's going to be happening the day before the comedy show, September 12th, September 11th. We're going to be, me and I believe Frankie the Monster and Spooky Bitch, we're all going to be rolling to Halloween Horror Nights, doing the VIP on that and checking that out this year. We already have tickets with also our friend Patty to be able to go to Dark Harbor. We're going to check that out as well as Not Scary Farm stuff. So we're planning on it, y'all. So just to let you know, you're going to have a lot of reviews from some Halloween events. You're going to have a lot of announcements, some spooky stuff coming up. But it's that time of the year, everybody. And I'm kind of excited, man. That's the year that I kind of enjoy the most. That's why we try to do it all year round. And I know next year, me and Spooky Bitch are already talking about going to CreepyCon in February in Ontario. So starting from February, we're going to be rolling it. And as me and her both are going to be finishing our degrees. And getting through some stuff, man, and enjoying that. So there's going to be a lot of reviews happening in the next couple months on all these Halloween events and maybe some other Halloween events I'll be promoting after we kind of get some information this weekend at Midsummer Scream. So just make sure that you are staying tuned, everybody, because there's going to be a lot of spooky stuff and announcements and all sorts of good stuff. All sorts of good stuff. Yeah, so very cool. So let's go ahead and get into this, man. Let's go get into a little bit of entertainment review, and then we'll get into some, just talking about some stuff, just life, life in general. So let's go ahead and get into this. Entertainment Corner, everybody. Just a couple of reviews I want to kind of do on some movies. So me and Spooky were able to go see a couple of movies this last week. So let me kind of go run through some of these. The first movie we got to see was Pinocchio Unstrung. It is a twist on the tale of Pinocchio. If you know about Pinocchio, he wanted to be a real boy. I'm a real boy, and that's his deal. This takes a kind of like a funny horror vibe to Pinocchio for sure. It's a twisted tale of Pinocchio wanting to be a real boy, and you kind of have to go for the ride for this one and just kind of, this is what it is. Just to let you know, I wasn't expecting too much, but I was wonderfully surprised with all the humor in it and the killing. And, I give it 2 paw prints up. And the only reason I'm saying that is at the end of the movie, if you do end up seeing Pinocchio Unstrung, at the end of the movie, they show kind of how they did some of the special effects. Now, some of this is cool because they didn't use CGI in this movie. If you looked at the trailers, you see that Pinocchio's kind of walking and talking. They used old school techniques. They used puppetry and movement and all sorts of stuff. Some real special effects with it, not just the CGI and the computer AI, whatever. None of that stuff. No computer synthesized, whatever the hell is going on. They actually use practical effects in this. And that's what kind of gave me that other paw print up, because a lot of films aren't doing that lately. So when you look at the movie, you're like, oh, okay, I probably see it. It wasn't CGI. They say it at the end of the movie. They show you the behind the scenes a little bit of how they kind of moved the puppet around, what they did with it. It's got a lot of humor. I mean, it's really cheesy for sure. You got to kind of go in the cheese with it. But if you have a chance, check it out. Just if you have a night, you know what I mean? Go check it out in theaters, or if you can wait till it's streaming, it's probably going to be streaming pretty soon. But we thoroughly enjoyed it. It was better than what I thought it'd be. And like I said, what bumps it up more for me is the fact that they use practical effects throughout the whole thing. So that was really cool. I give Pinocchio Unstrung 2 paw prints up for sure. The other movie that I'm gonna review that we saw this week was the new Spider-Man movie, right? The Brand New Day. I'm gonna give it 1 paw print up, okay, for sure. Just 1. I'm gonna be honest with you. I am a fan. Me and Spooky went back to see a couple of the other Spider-Mans from before with Tom Holland. We saw the first one, and then we saw the most recent one with all of the three Spider-Man that came out in it. And this one didn't match up. It's cool, I get it. You know what I mean? There's some stuff that's going on with them, but the reason why I didn't give it two paw prints up, I was disappointed. I was really disappointed with this film. The reason was because it was a filler film. You know, one of those films that's gonna tie into the Doomsday, the Avengers Doomsday stuff. You know, we already got our tickets for Avengers Doomsday already. You know what I mean? We're gonna see it Christmas week. One of the things is you could tell it's just like a little like to get to that movie. It is more emotional for sure. There are a couple like surprise twists or whatever in some characters that are in the movie, but as in like a movie comparing to the last one, it doesn't match up for me. To be honest with you, everybody's all jazzed up. It's making tons of money and everybody kind of likes it, whatever. But as a fan, for me, I could have done without it. I think they could have done more with it for sure. But like I said, I think this was a tie-in from the last movie, which it's hard to top that last movie, y'all. I mean, they had multiple villains from multiple universes, from all the three Spider-Man franchises. They had the three Spider-Men in that mother. You know what I mean? Like, it's hard to top that just in general already. You know what I'm saying? So this one was kind of very flat for me. You know what I mean? You know, there's some stuff that's happening in Spider-Man. There's, hey, by the way, in this, and then you had to, like, Spooky Bitch had to read some reviews about, like, oh, this is why this happened at the end, blah, blah. And that kind of leaves a little bit, a bad taste in my mouth. You know what I mean? I want the movie to let me know what's going on or to give me some clarity or something. You know what I'm saying? So, like from the hype and everything, oh, my God, and all the stuff, whatever, I was expecting more for sure. But that's what happens when you expect, right? But compared to the last one, I just think this one was a dud. If you're gonna see it, go see it. You know what I'm saying? This is another one I think you can wait to streaming. Actually, I enjoyed Pinocchio and Strong more than I did Spider-Man, and that's kind of sad because they hyped this up a lot. And again, it's making a lot of money and it's doing its thing. But you know, the reality for me, it was just like a filler story. To be honest with you, you know what I mean? Like the first part of the movie kind of didn't have to have. The first half of the movie didn't even have to happen. You know what I mean? They could have just cut to the chase on certain things to give you the surprise twist or whatever it was. So I don't know. It just wasn't the get down for me this time around with Spider-Man. But like I know that they're gearing everything up to be able to give us that Avengers Doomsday. That's the major deal at the end of the year. That's going to be that winter blockbuster that's going to happen for sure. You know what I mean? Some heartstrings here and there, you know what I mean? But like I said, it didn't match up to that last movie at all. Or any of the other movies, to be honest with you, that he's done. This one was like a very flat movie for me. So, you know, those are the two movie reviews we got, everybody. You know what I mean? Like I said, do what you got to do with them. But you know what I mean? If you have a chance, go out to the movies. Go check a movie out. You know what I mean? I'm liking that clown horn a little too much. This guy is saying, hey, if you haven't had a chance, man, like, subscribe, share, all that kind of stuff, comment, or whatever you got to do. Throw it on there, man. Throw it on the social media or throw it on the Spotify or the YouTube, man. Like I said, they get thrown to me anyway. But if you have a chance, you know, like, subscribe, listen, all that kind of stuff, share it. You know what I mean? Let people know that they can have this get down and kind of just check it out. You know what I mean? Greatly appreciate it. Kind of want to roll into the topic a little bit today. And we're going to be talking about this a little bit. You know what I mean? I think for a lot of people, man, I've been noticing with a lot of people that there's a lot of people that are trying to get through the summer. It's hot for sure. You know, getting through the summer, trying to be productive, trying to handle responsibilities and all that kind of good stuff. But there's also been some people that I've been noticing, you know, there's some deaths and stuff like that. And, you know, I'll be celebrating 50 years later this year. That's why I'm so eager to kind of, you know, get my goals all set up, you know, not really as quick as I can, but, you know, sooner than later, you know what I'm saying? Because I know, you know, with age, you know, things start slowing down or whatever the case is, you know what I mean? Like we want to chase what we kind of chase while we can. You know, that's very important. But I think for me, you know, I've been noticing that, you know, as time has been passing, man, time is precious, right? And that's kind of what I want to talk about today, that how time is precious. So that's the kind of the focal point today's episode. Time is precious, everybody. Um, Lately, I've had a lot of things that have been happening, man. Setting boundaries, letting people go, rekindling with the healthy old friendships and relationships and stuff like that. With people. But I've been noticing there's a lot of people that have been struggling with their time in their life. I had a friend that had a death scare, really, health scare. And I'm glad she's still around. You know what I mean? And some people that have been passing, and just me just kind of getting, older, I'm getting the big 5-0 later this year. It's really been kind of making me think about how precious time is, man. And, I think that, as we're howling at life, man, we got to understand that, we can only howl for so long. I'm going to howl throughout the whole rest of my life. I just don't know how long that's going to be. And you get to a point in your life, in certain stages of your life, man, that you kind of start thinking about that a little bit, like when you're going to be an adult and you're in your 30s and your 40s and your 50s, like pretty much every decade, man, of your life, man, you're kind of going through these transitions in life. And I don't know about you, man, but when I was younger, I thought I had unlimited lives, bro. You know what I mean? Like, I remember when I was playing video games when I was a kid, you only had 3 lives in that one quarter, and then you put the quarters up there so you could like make sure like you hit the next quarter in that motherfucker, right? Because you knew you only had 3 lives. And then Nintendo came out and they had the cheat codes, and you could go ahead and get unlimited lives, and you can keep playing, and no matter what. Okay, cool, because you could figure some stuff out. But we have life, you know what I mean? And life, you kind of have one life, you know what I'm saying? That's why I'm always saying howl at life, man. Make the most of it. Do what you got to do. I'm not saying it's going to be easy, man, but sometimes we got to make those hard decisions so we can keep howling, man. You know what I'm saying? And some people are going to like it and some people aren't. But I think, ultimately time is precious, man. And lately, it's kind of been hitting me a little more. And it's not because I'm turning 50, but just what's been happening a lot lately with people around me, trying to help some people that have, gone back out in addiction and it came back, and, some people dealing with mental health, and some people dealing with some developmental stages in their lives, and just a lot of different things, man, that are popping up. And I think that for me, it just kind of got me thinking a little bit, right? I don't know how much y'all really think about, the time we have or what you're doing with the time. You know what I mean? I think that's one of the biggest things is what you're actually doing with that time you got. You know what I mean? There's a lot of people that will, be cool where they're at. You know what I mean? And it's cool, but, some people want more sometimes, or some people want some change, or some people want, to strive for something, or to see things in their lives, or to accomplish things in their lives, man. And how much time you really think you got putting that shit off, man? You know what I mean? Damn, that was a good one right there. Boom, right there. I think it's important to acknowledge that, man, because I think a lot of us, we put off certain things. And I know that I've had a few friends this year that have gone through some like real big health issues, man, some scares. I know I did earlier this year. If you listen to the podcast, in the beginning of the year, I was in the hospital for a couple days, and I was almost paralyzed. You know what I'm saying? Like I couldn't really feel my legs as much, and I had some lower back things going on and whatever, and my legs kind of weren't functioning. And it threw me for a loop, man. It really did. You know what I mean? And I hadn't even started my internship yet, and I was like, man, should I continue? I don't know. Well, I'm like, well, continue the fucking race till it's done, bro. You know what I mean? Don't just give up because you got scared, man. Do what you got to do, man. Because, like I said, time is precious. Now, the reason why I'm saying that is hopefully y'all reflect a little bit about where you're at in your life, how much time that you've had already in this year, or how much time you think you're going to still have. You know what I mean? Because we really don't know. Somebody told me a while ago, it's like, think about the average person has 80 years, bro. Just think that. It could be more, it could be less, but I'm just saying the average, right, is 80 years. How many more Christmases do you got? How many more birthdays do you got? how many more New Year's and 4th of July and Halloweens and Thanksgivings and you know what I'm saying? And a lot of people, man, they don't get it, man. It's like, dude, our time is limited, man. And I want to make the most of what I got. Now, don't get me wrong, like I said, sometimes you gotta let some people go that you really don't want to let go. And it hurts. It stings a little bit. Or sometimes you gotta make some changes that or some decisions that might be scary. But how many more holidays you think you got? How many more trips around the sun you think you got, man? You know what I'm saying? I think that's the one thing that I trip out about, especially like for some of the people that I know, like I talked about my friend, she's like, I got to get some life changes, man. I got to set some boundaries more. I need to be happy and blah, blah. But why do you have to go to a point where you almost pass away before you make those changes happen, man? You're precious, dog. And so is your fucking time. You know what I mean? And that's one of the things that I trip out about. It's like, dude, think about that now, not later, man. Later is a little too late in my book. You know what I mean? You gotta go ahead and see yourself as precious, but also your time is precious.
Woo-hoo! Yeah!
Your energy, your focus, your actions, man. The people you let around or whatever, man. You can't just be okay with everything, man. Forever, dude. You know what I'm saying? At some point, you gotta focus on the precious part, which is you. You know what I mean? And that's something that I've been kind of working on this year, man. Like I said, I've been kind of working on that trip for the last year, but ever since like January, I was like, nah, man, I can't be, messing around. And there's been a lot of things since the beginning of the year that I've kind of had to phase and deal with and try to help people and just all sorts of stuff that's been going on. And so I really have thought about, a lot of on my end about how precious that time is. You know what I'm saying? Not just to celebrate, but where your time's going. You know what I'm saying? If you're stressing out about certain things, or if you're going about your business and you're doing your thing, man, and you're just like, fuck, man, I don't have enough time in the day. You have 24 hours to do whatever the fuck you want. You know what I mean? But how much of that time are you spending wasting that energy and that time? You know what I'm saying? Is it quality? Or is it just, you're burning up that time clock? You know what I mean? I know a lot of people that spend time burning that time stressing, worrying. That's why, people, when I tell them what I have planned or what's going on or whatever, I'm always over talking about it because I got to plan it out. Because I got to be like, hey, by the way, okay, this day I'm doing this day I'm doing this. Well, with my announcements for the shows and stuff like that, plus all the other stuff that I got going on, I have to live off of calendars so I know where my energy and my focus has to be at and when it has to be where it has to be at. You know what I mean? And so part of the thing I think with a lot of people, man, as you get older, man, dude, you ain't got the energy to be putting up with bullshit. You don't have the time to be wasting all that, you know what I mean? All those minutes. You know what I mean? Just like you were a kid, like you thought you had a limited fucking time. You get older, you start knowing how precious your time is. If people don't want to be in your life, you know what I mean? Like there's nothing you can do about it. I mean, you can chase your time. I'm not saying waste it away, but you can waste away that time trying to convince that person they need to be in your life. Or you can just go on and live your life. You know what I mean? You could try to figure out why people do things behind your back. Or guess what? You could just fucking, you know what? It's been lovely, dog. You know what I mean? You can spend time complaining and worrying and being scared and still putting up with a lot of crap or like not even making decisions or not even taking some actions, y'all. You know what I'm saying? But then for what? You know what I'm saying? All of a sudden another year passed and what'd you do about it? You're there. You're in that situation. That's what's happening. But how much time you gonna spend being ignorant to the fact, man? You know what I'm saying? Like, that's one thing that one of my old bosses told me, right? He told me this, and he goes, I'm glad you're going to school. I go, yeah, because you got degrees. He goes, no, because you're gonna find out who you are in that journey. And he goes, think about it, man. You could spend a year thinking about going to school, or you could be already a year done with school, because that time's gonna pass anyway. So say today, you can either make a decision to do it, or you could still be thinking about it and push that time off. See, when I got into this current job that I'm in, man, I knew they worked with a certain school for that degree. And so I was like, screw it. A month into it, I asked all these questions. I was like, hey man, do you guys still work with us even though we're brand new? They go, yeah, you if you want to work with me, you get the cool. A month into my new job, man, I got into it. Boom, I got into school. That was a year and a little bit, a year and a half ago almost, right? I'm almost freaking done with school. I only got one more year and that's it. You know what I'm saying? I wasn't going to wait 2 years and let me see about the job and blah, 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 and then think about it and put it off and I don't know. Dude, I'd rather deal with it now, man, because by the time I make a decision, time has already passed. You know, that's one thing we can't get back is time. That's why it's precious. You can make money back. You can make memories. You know what I mean? You can make all sorts of things back. You can get back the material. You can get back people. But time is what's wasted, man. Time is the commodity that we haven't learned how to save. You know what I mean? It just keeps going, whether you're around or not, whether you're howling or not, whether you're in tuned or not. You know what I mean? That's one of the major things that, you know, people have told me throughout the years is how precious time is. You know what I'm saying? And it's really opened my mind to understand that, because I think the fact is a lot of us kind of think we have that like a surplus of time. You know, this isn't like storage data on your phone where you can buy more. It doesn't work that way. This isn't where you can pause and be like, all right, let me take a break and then I'll come back. You know what I mean? Like, again, this is the third time I'm doing this damn episode. This is the longest I've had right here because the first two, I had to, you know, technical difficulties and, you know, whatever was going on. But at the same time, like, that's the biggest issue that I have is that aspect about time. You know what I mean? And I don't know, maybe it's me getting older, or maybe it's just me seeing people that are just fucking miserable, or not really miserable, but really, you know they could be in a different spot in their life, a better spot, or just a changed spot in their life. You know what I mean? And I think that's kind of what's got me, man. You know what I mean? I see my parents, and you know, and I see people that are younger than me, and I see people around my age, man. And time, it's what we all got in common. Depends on where you're at on the clock. You know what I'm saying? I mean, like I said, in the beginning, man, you didn't have to worry about this stuff. But once you kind of get in your 40s and 50s, man, you start going like, all right, bro, how much time I got left? And you try not to think about it, but you in your back of your mind, you kind of think about it. You know what I mean? Like, it does happen, you know? But that's the reality that happens. You know, we have a certain clock or timer that's going on. You know what I mean? And it's up to you to figure out, you know, what you want to do with that time. You know, like, again, we don't really know what the end time is for us, right? But, you know, I don't want to sit around here and wait until like, oh, I shoulda, woulda, coulda, you know, regretting shit later on in my life, man. I want to do something and be like, hey, I tried it. Hey, man, I did this, I did that. And that's why, you know, a lot of times, you know, I always tell people, it's like, make the changes you got to make now. Do the decisions you got to do now. I'm not saying they're going to be easy, but at least your time won't be wasted anymore, man. It won't just be out there like with the surplus of just like, man, I should have, man, why did I spend that much money, that much time on this, you know? A lot of us complain about how much money we spend on shit, but nobody ever looks at how much time you spend on something. You know what I mean? Today after work, I'll give you an example about this. I already had everything planned out. I was going to run that. So when I did it, I was like, oh, crap, let me do the comedy flyer. I got to do the podcast. Oh, shit, I got to do it again. But whatever. Oh, man, I still got this stuff to do. I want to do that stuff to do. I wanted this. Hey, I could only do so much. So I had to, like, time set. And then it kind of got rewired and removed around a little bit, you know. But, like, after this, cool. What am I going to do? Well, you know what? I got to eat. I still haven't eaten dinner yet. I want to work on some stuff I got to do for my recovery, and then maybe try to start looking at some clothing that I got to kind of look through, and maybe I'll do it tomorrow. I don't know, you know what I mean? But there's only so much time that I got, right? I got like another maybe an hour and a half, right, for tonight, of what I got to do, and I got to figure out what I want to do with it. Now I could spend it worrying, and I should have done this with it, or I could just move shit around. You know, hey, man, I could take care of this tomorrow, a little bit of this today. That's what I did yesterday, man. I had some free time. I knocked out the last response for last week's class. I did some stuff, some research that I had to do for this week, and then I kind of preset stuff for next week. So I'm ahead of the game. You know what I mean? And I think that's one of the things that a lot of people, they don't get into that focus of trying to get into being ahead of the game, right? They're always trying to play catch up, or they're always trying to regret that they should have done this or they should have done that, or whatever the case was. And, you know, and then they get to a point that happens, man. They get to a point where all of a sudden the time's already been spent and you're like, oh, and now you're like in this rush mode, man. You're in this like anxiety mode and pissed off mode. Oh man, I should have. Well, why don't you do it, man? You know what I mean? What time are you waiting for? Are you waiting for a buzzer? You know what I mean? Are you waiting for something? I'll give you a buzzer, man. That's it. It's time, dog. Do what you got to be doing, man. You know what I mean? I love that clown horn. But I'm just saying, like, I think for me, man, that's something, like I said, that I'm trying to really focus on how precious time is. Not only my time, other people's time. You know what I mean? If you're one of these people that, you know what I mean, doesn't respect somebody else's time, then stop wasting it, man. They can spend that time doing something else. I've had a lot of sponsees or people, whatever, that have asked me for help. And then they don't do their part. I'm not going to go chase them, dude. Fuck it. Do your thing, brother. You know what I mean? But if they come back, especially like a couple of these guys is like the second time they come back to me for some help. If they come back, I'm like, check this out, bro. 2 strikes, you're done, dog. I don't need to get a 3rd strike to waste my time. I just can't. You didn't do the work. You didn't do what you needed to do. You know what I mean? You can go with somebody else. I'm not wasting your time. You're not wasting mine. Let's just respect that. Do what we got to do. You know what I mean? Tried it. Didn't work. Do that with somebody else that thinks they have more time. But when you're productive, man, you're howling at life, man, your time is fucking precious. And you know what? Respect the time of other people. If that's not the get down, just let them know, hey, you know what? Not my deal. You don't have to go to a point of oh man, they invited me somewhere. I don't know if I want to go. They don't go. It's your time. You know what I mean? Let them know, hey man, I'm just not feeling it, or hey man, maybe next time. That's it. Push it off if that ain't your get down. You know what I mean? If you don't want to go, you don't have to convince yourself to go somewhere. You know where you're at with things. You know what I'm saying? There's a lot of things that I've been doing the last couple of weeks that wasn't really in my planning, but I'm glad I went. You know what I mean? I had that little, should I go? I go, no, you know what? Let's go. Because I know I'm going to benefit. You know what I mean? But if you're going to go there and complain the whole time, you're wasting a night, bro. You're wasting hours. You're wasting minutes, man, just in that mindset. And for what? You know what I mean? It's your time. But the more that you can see how precious your time is, the more you can see how precious you are. And the more you can do something with that time, and that's the real important part. It's not just the time we got, it's what you're doing with that time. Because that energy is spent somewhere, man. You know what I mean? It's either building you so you can howl, or it's pulling you back so you can growl. You know what I'm saying? Oh, that was good, dude. That was good. I'll fucking give you that right there. You know what I'm saying? Because if you're feeling pulled back and you're wasting your time, you're going to growl. You're going to get aggravated. You're going to get frustrated. You're going to get complacent. You're going to get all that negativity miserable, man. And for what? You know what I mean? You have the time. There's not enough hours in the day. No, you just have to plan better, dog. You know what I mean? There's plenty of time to do what you need to do. A lot of the stuff that I plan today is stuff that I need to do. It needs to get done. And some stuff I would like it to get done. But some things don't need to be done. I know I need to do this podcast. I know I need to do the flyer. You know what I mean? I could have waited. You know what I'm saying? But I made it a priority, right? And that's what time is. Time has to be your priority. A lot of people think money is your priority, and this is your priority, that person's your priority. But it all has to do with your time. Where's your time going, man? You know what I mean? Where is that time going? Because sooner than later, I'll be honest with you, there's a lot of mornings I've woken up, and I wake up, I'm like, fuck, I'm already this old? Trip out, dog. Not like, oh my God, I'm getting old. It's just, wow, the years kind of went. I mean, think about it, y'all. We're already in August this year, man. Like this, I don't remember July. July went quick. June went quick. You know what I mean? I don't remember the other months. They just went quick. We're already in August. Now what ends up happening is, watch, another podcast, and then 2 more weeks, boom, we'll be in September. Or whatever the case is. You know what I'm saying? And then it's like this, that, the other thing, comedy shows, blah, 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 boom, boom, September's done. Okay, cool, October, oh my God, holidays. When the holidays roll around, things just kind of skirt, they just kind of go pretty quick. You know what I mean? And then we're already in 2027. And a lot of people think that they're like, man, you trip out too much, man. Dude, I'm telling you right now, time is going pretty darn quick, man. I don't know, man. My days are going pretty darn fast here. And so I want to make sure that that time is being invested where it's got to be invested. I'm hoping you do too, y'all. I really am hoping you do too. All right. So just wanted to kind of throw that out there. Kind of think about where your time's going. Who do you want to invest it with? Who do you want to spend it on? Where do you want that energy to go? Because that time is going to go somewhere. Just think about that so you don't end up later, a year later, going like, fuck, I should have done some other shit. It's the time to do it. Again, I gave you the signal. That's where it's at right there, man. That signal is telling you it's time, bro. It's time. It's time. You know what I mean? And again, you can invest in here, you can invest in there, you can do whatever you got to do. But at the end of the day, man, it's your time. You know what I mean? You have a choice of where it goes. You have a choice of what you do with it. You have a choice of where it's supposed to go to. You know what I mean? Who is the person or the places or the things that are going to be taking that time from you? You know what I mean? I've scheduled to take time off on Friday. You know, I was like, I'm going to take some me time. Everybody's like, what'd you do on Friday when you had your day off? Fucking nothing. Nothing. You know what I mean? Except for the evening, you know, we rolled to Knott's Berry Farm with our pass and stuff. And I was like, cool, man. But the whole day, nothing, man. I was cool with it, bro. You know what I mean? And I didn't realize how much I needed it. I was in a more chill spot. And then I got to work this morning because I had a pretty chill weekend. This morning, I got in there, man. And sure enough, 2 hours in, I'm already 2 nicotine pouches in, man. I'm like, oh, hold up. I had to kind of take a step back a little bit and reframe. I was like, nah, man, you're not going to take double my time right now. You're going to take what I can give you, and that's it. Because I already started seeing that, you know what I mean? I was starting to get a little worked up, and I'm like, oh, man, what happened to my days off? And I was so relaxed. Well, hold on. Let me take back my time and make quality time again. Got into my cell, chilled me out a little bit, rewired some stuff, redirected myself, and I got to be able to enjoy the rest of the time I had for the day. And all of a sudden, the day was up. Boom, now we're here. So I'm just saying, y'all, you know what I mean? You can either spend, a minute arguing or that same minute trying to do something with your life, enjoying it or whatever's going on. But ultimately, it's up to you what you want to do with your time, man. You know what I mean? Hopefully, you want to do something with it that's enjoyable where you can be like, yeah, that's what I did with my time, dog. You know what I'm saying? So just some stuff to think about. Plenty of shows coming up. More entertainment corners coming up as well. Hey, man, y'all, have a good evening, day, wherever you're at, man. Whatever time you're listening to this bad boy, man. And see what you're doing with your time, man. Sometimes some me time is good. Sometimes some them time is good. Sometimes some free time or, whatever time you want to do with it. But man, the negative stuff, man, it burns time so quickly, man. You know what I'm saying? So let's try to find out a way to get through the rest of this year with doing something with our time, man. And I appreciate your time listening to another episode of Howling at Life, y'all. Hey, man, much love. Thank y'all for all the support. Like I said, like, share, subscribe, pay attention, and stay tuned for all the wonderful announcements that will be coming up this year, for all the shows that will be coming up. Hopefully see you at the show, man. If you do go to the show, man, come up and get a picture with me afterwards, get a hug before the show or whatever's going on. Would love to see y'all. Hey, man, other than that, everybody enjoy the rest of whatever time you got, man. But thank you so much, everybody. Here we go. And we're exiting like we always do.